While they're busy talking about you, you're busy building. While they're busy hating on you, you're busy creating. While they're busy explaining why you don't deserve it, you're busy earning more of it. I don't think you're paranoid. I think that they actually do hate you. And it has nothing to do with what you think. So in this video, I'll tell you the psychological triggers that make high performers a target and why your natural responses make it worse. Most people don't realize that the hatred, it has nothing to do with what you did. In fact, it's the opposite. But I'll explain that in a minute. So by the end of this video, you'll understand the triggers that make certain people turn against you. But more importantly, you'll know exactly what to do about it. But before we dive into the 5 specific triggers that make people resent you, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that the moment you start improving yourself, certain people in your life started acting differently towards you? Drop a comment below if that's ever happened to you. It's like you go out of your way to be decent to people, but you still get the cold shoulder. And it's frustrating when people are talking about you and have no reason not to like you because you haven't done anything wrong to them. You're trying to be a good person, you try to be helpful to everyone, only to realize that certain people have a problem with you. And I'll give you 5 reasons why people dislike you and how to deal with it. So let's talk about it. I don't know why it is that people tend to have a problem with people that have high vibration and high frequency. It's like they can't match your energy, so they try to lower yours. They talk about you, they exclude you, and then they try to find flaws in you just to bring you down to a level that they can understand. But when you have a high frequency, you tend to see through the social mask and the fake small talk. You aren't interested in the gossip or the complaints. And that's what keeps them bonded together because you don't participate in their low level conversations. They see your silence as judgment, and then they feel exposed around you. They know that they can't lie to themselves when you're standing right there, and that makes you difficult to be around in their eyes. You have to also understand that people hate what they can't control. A person with high vibration isn't easily manipulated. You don't need their validation or approval. And this intimidates people who use guilt or social pressure to keep others in line, since they can't pull your strings or get an emotional reaction out of you. Their only move is to try to ruin your reputation. They talk behind your back because they realize that they can't get ahead of you. Then it's about territory. In most groups, there is a set of hierarchy of who is the loudest or the most important, right? When you walk in vibrating higher, you unintentionally shift the gravity of the room. You aren't even trying to be loud. You aren't even trying to lead, but people naturally look toward you. And this triggers the ego of people who were comfortable being at the top of a small stagnant hill. They see your presence as a threat to their status. So they start a smear campaign, and they start a smear campaign to protect their own compromised position. The reality is that your frequency is too high for them. You're doing nothing to them, but you're doing a lot to their ego. Another reason people can't stand you is that you have clarity about your life. You show up with a clear mind and a sense of purpose, and they don't know what they want. They don't have a plan and they're just lost. Another trigger could be your money, but not in the way that you might think. It's not about how much money you have, it's about what your money represents. When you start earning more money, investing smarter, or just being more financially stable, you're proving that the excuses that they've been making for years now, it just don't add up. The economy is bad, yet you're thriving. And they can't understand that. Your financial success doesn't make them jealous, it invalidates their entire narrative about why they're stuck. And people will protect their narrative a lot quicker than they'll pursue their dreams. People don't just hate that you have money, they hate the ease that come with it. They see you moving through life with a higher frequency, less stress, better health, and more options, and it triggers them. It triggers a deep sense of resentment. And they feel that because they're working hard and struggling, and you're working hard and succeeding. Their dislike is a coping mechanism to face the fact that you've mastered the game that they're still losing at. But what you do is you handle it by staying in your lane. Keep your business private from those that haven't earned the right to know. And just know that your wealth acts as a filter. It clears out the people who only liked you when you were struggling. And it makes room for a new circle that isn't triggered by your growth. Your financial freedom feels like a personal insult to their debt and their excuses, which leads directly into the third trigger, which is in the workplace. If you show with a high frequency, and you're efficient, you don't participate in the office gossip, and you actually deliver results to a mediocre coworker, you aren't just a coworker, you're a threat. By being a decent person who is helpful and just a high performer, you're unintentionally raising the bar for everyone else. When management see what you can do and then they start wondering why that person sitting next to you is doing the bare minimum, your excellence make their laziness visible. So to protect their easy paycheck, they have to find a reason to dislike you. They'll call you a try hard or brown noser because it's easier than admitting that they've been coasting for years. They need to sabotage your reputation so that they don't have to improve their own. And let's talk about how you carry yourself. Some people would never admit this, but physical appearance, it triggers deep resentment. If you take care of yourself, if you're fit, if you're disciplined with your health, and you walk like a person with high frequency, oh, you're really in for it. People see your discipline and they feel the weight of their own lack of. So instead of being inspired, it's easier for them to label you as stuck up. They want to believe that because you look good, you must be shallow. They need to find a flaw in your character to balance out the fact that you've mastered a part of life that they completely given up on. Too bad. But stay with me because the next two triggers is where this gets even more interesting. The fourth trigger is your silence. In a world where everyone feels the need to explain, justify, and defend themselves constantly, your silence is powerful, and power makes insecure people feel uncomfortable. When you stop engaging in gossip, when you stop explaining your decisions, and when you simply just move in silence and you let your results speak, you're doing something that most people cannot do. You're comfortable being misunderstood, you have a high frequency, explanations are just a waste of energy. Which brings us to the final and most critical trigger, which is number five, success. It's not that you're just successful, but how you became successful. Because if you did it through discipline, smart decisions, and just delayed gratification, which is three things that they refuse to do, your success is proof that they're responsible for where they are right now. And that's the ultimate threat. Because as long as they can believe that success is luck, timing, privilege, or just connections, they can avoid accountability. But you're walking evidence that those are just excuses and lies that they tell themselves. Your success forces them to confront a painful truth. They could have what you have if they were just willing to do what you did. And most people would rather hate you than accept that. But the real question is, how do you protect your energy and keep moving forward? And this is where most people make the mistake. They try to confront, they try to explain, they try to win people over. But the smartest response isn't confrontation, but detachment. And I need you to really understand what detachment means here. It definitely doesn't mean cutting everybody off. It just means emotionally divesting from people who are emotionally invested in your failure. It means you stop trying to prove yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you, basically. You stop sharing your wins with people who are secretly hoping that you lose. You stop seeking validation from people who are threatened by your growth. You have to realize that their hatred, it was never about you. It was always about them. So don't take it personal. I never really understood why someone who was doing less than you has an opinion about how you should live. Think about that for a second. Why would you internalize criticism from someone who isn't even playing the same game you're playing? Why would you let someone who gave up on themselves make you doubt yourself? Their resentment is just their pain projected onto you. Don't absorb that energy. Don't absorb that energy that don't belong to you. So let me leave you with this. Every person who resents you for being disciplined, focused, successful, or self-controlled is actually giving you a gift. They're just showing you who to stop sharing your energy with. And the beautiful thing, while they're busy talking about you, you're busy building. While they're busy hating on you, you're busy creating. While they're busy explaining why you don't deserve it, you're busy earning more of it. So watch this video before you internalize hatred that was never about you. People who matter will celebrate your growth. The people who don't will reveal themselves through their resentment. And your only job is to keep going anyways. So do me a favor, drop a comment telling me these five triggers that you've experienced the most. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, somebody who's been taking other people's hatred personally, share this video with them. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.